Hey, I'm Bro. Welcome to Meet the Crew. Today we're going to talk to Mike at Brodustrial Light Magic. All right, so Mike,
Hey,
welcome to Meet the Crew here.
it's awesome to be here. I've been here many times, but this is great to be doing this.
Why don't we start off, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name's Michael Maloney, and I am a creative director and art director. I've been in the advertising industry for years and always interested in Star Wars, so I slowly made my way into it. First thing I did was looked up building a full-size R2-D2, and I came across the Astromech forum, which led me deeper and deeper into the realm, which brought me to here.
So that's what led you into making costumes and props, or how did you transition from that into making costumes?
So I've been a fan, like a lot of us, since 1977, since seeing Star Wars for the first time, and fell in love with it, and always saw the quality of the toys and the costumes at the time, and always felt, well, we could do better than this. Unfortunately, we didn't have the internet back then, so we weren't able to research and find other ways to do things. So I was making costumes out of plastic bags and doing the best I can, versus the costumes when we were kids, which a lot of times, you wanted to be Cookie Monster for Halloween, and you had a picture of Cookie Monster on your shirt and a plastic
Exactly.
mask. And I used to argue with my mom, saying, Cookie Monster wouldn't have a shirt with his face on it. Like, I don't want to be Cookie Monster. Which, then by the time Star Wars came out, I was trying to make myself, full Stormtrooper costumes as a kid. But as an adult, the first thing I came across was the Astromech forum, and signed up there and started working on a full-size R2-D2, which you've seen at events. You've seen me bring around. People have come out and verified my R2 for being screen accurate and being in the Droid Builder Northeast membership, so that I can take them to events and bring them to charities and children's hospitals and etc. From there, I started running into meeting people in the 501st. I had known about it, but I didn't know how to get started. I didn't know what the first step would be. First met a couple of people at an event, and then led me to meeting you in person. I think we were at the Meadowlands Fair a couple of years ago. My first costume was actually an X-Wing pilot. Bought myself a jumpsuit and built my first box, which actually I think Shelley has now.
Yeah.
And went from there, and that led me to meet more people, find more information, find the forums, become a 501st member on the forums first, and start working on my TK.
What's your favorite thing about building costumes and doing all this?
I think that, coming from a place as an artist, my favorite thing about, I guess, the process is doing the research and getting that screen accuracy and display and being able to showcase my skills on what it is that I can do in terms of recreating things. My favorite thing about the groups is the camaraderie and the friendship that I've gained over the years, the people that I've met and the experience that I've had. I love the creation process and the building, and I love sharing that information and being able to get as many people involved and let other people be able to appreciate it and experience it through the sharing of information.
It really is a community, and part of why you're part of this crew is because you really enjoy making and helping others, which is all of us. Nobody's born with these skills, and everyone wants to join these groups, but they don't know how to do this stuff. So that's why most of us and our fellow builders up north and down south, we kind of band together as a central place where we can help new people come.
Absolutely, and it's the sharing of information and the sharing of techniques and things. There are a lot of people out there that develop a certain technique or develop a way of doing something, and they keep it very close to their chest and don't want to share it because they're afraid they're going to either lose credit or not be worthy anymore.
Right, we don't, it's not like we get paid for this. It's not like we get any kind of status or accolades. I mean, basically we're just, we just kind of enjoy helping others, and no egos, and it's, if I learn something, I want to help somebody else, and and that's why we rely on all you guys, to be part of this. It's an informal group, but we
Yeah.
really are, making a big difference in at least the New Jersey community with making stuff. We definitely appreciate that. And again, it's like, the more you help people, the more they want to help others, and it becomes almost like a giant family here in New Jersey. Our garrison and community, costume making community is great. How does your real family, feel about it, and how involved do they get?
Interesting that you bring that up. So I have a 13-year-old daughter, which, that teenage years are just starting out. Early on, she was into the experience. She has a Sabine Wren costume that, even though it's just Galactic Academy, we built and tried to get as accurate as possible.
Yep.
She's only 13, but she's already 5'6".
Yeah.
She's gonna be a tall girl, so she's wearing a full-size Sabine Wren helmet when she troops. And she's come to children's hospitals with me. She's come to some of the events. But now that she is a little older, she wants to be Princess Leia. So one of our members, Elena, was in the process of making herself a new dress, and I talked to her about it, and I said, hey, can you help me, because I'm learning how to sew? Maybe we can make a dress for my daughter Chase. And she says, oh, she could just have my dress.
That's great.
So she gave her Princess Leia dress, the traditional white gown, the first one. Her and I made the belt. We went to Tandy Leather. We got some white leather scraps, made some aluminum plates for it. That outfit, again, she's a Galactic Academy, but the way we built that to the standards of, let's go for screen accuracy and let's go for Rebel Legion approval and do the best we can. So she's at that stage. Rome, my 10-year-old son, is a little all over the place. He is one day asking me to build something for him, and then the next day he wants a costume from Troll Hunters, and then a week later, and he, like me, has a very discriminating eye, and he will look at something and go, yeah, that looks pretty good, and I'm like, pretty good. And he's like, well, there's a shadow or there's a certain thing missing. So right now he's at that stage where he's into, playing Halo or Call of Duty and those games online. So he's kind of going that way more. But he, deep down, he's a Star Wars fan, thankfully, and so is my daughter.
Yeah, I the same with our Logan. He's my oldest apprentice here, and he was big into it. Like you said, guys our age, we grew up in Star Wars in the 70s, 80s, and we had those costumes, the plastic bag and the paper plate face, and we wanted more. And it's almost like we want more for our kids, whether they want it or not. So we're making screen accurate, the little Django, the little X-Wings, the little Sabines. Everything's got to be screen accurate. We take all those skills and scale it down.
Absolutely.
And it's a great way to get that family involvement and go with that.
Yeah, and my daughter's great too, because anytime that I needed to suit up for my approval shots for my TK or for my heavy weapons trooper, she is right down there. She's like, oh, you're going to put everything on? She's like, okay, remember, you got to put your shin on first before you put your shoe on. And she's on top of it, and she's great about that stuff. Like I said, Rome is at that age where, he wants to be involved only so much, but the nice thing is that he does appreciate the quality and the screen accuracy and, and going for that. The other great thing too is as we grew up on Star Wars, they're now growing up on this whole new generation of movies, these sequels that are coming out, The Mandalorian, which is huge. I'm currently working on a heavy infantry Mandalorian. Heavy infantry Mandalorian. So, I actually built the first helmet, and he's going to use the first helmet, and we're going to build him kind of a makeshift costume around it, because again, Galactic Academy, the standards are just, let's go out and have fun. And then I'll build a screen accurate version for myself.
Yeah, but it's great because we can keep our families can come with us to these troops and get involved. So really, and then usually our wives get sucked into it too at some point, which, which is awesome. Whether they're helping out or getting a costume at some point.
Absolutely. The other nice thing too is we went to one of the troops. I think it was at the RJW Children's Hospital years ago, and my daughter came with me for the day, and I remember her asking me. At the time, she was much younger, but I remember her asking me what the word charity meant. And I explained it on the way home, and I explained that, we used our time, gas money, toll money, the time for the day. We could have been home watching cartoons or doing anything we wanted to, but we went down there and we made all of those people happy. And it was actually funny. She actually said to me, she interrupted me, and she said, think about how happy we made those people when they saw us. And that was all I needed to say. I mean,
Yeah.
she learned the lesson just by coming with us. So it was just a great teaching tool.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. You know, the trooping, you know, whether it's
Yep.
helping other people learn new skills that they can then pass forward with their costumes or trooping, that's what it is.
Yeah.
What's some other new projects you have? If you're willing to share, I know a lot
So,
of us,
sure, no.
we're not a secret society, and we don't hold, like you said, we don't
Yeah.
hold information or how we build it back from anybody.
Right.
But sometimes we do wait till we get a little further along in the project before we go, hey, look what we're making.
We don't want to reveal
So is there
things too
anything
soon.
that you're making now that you want to share?
Yeah, actually, and I'm sorry I didn't bring them with me today. I'm working on a Wicket project. I shared a little bit of this on my Instagram and I put up a YouTube video recently. But basically, I had come across years ago an instructable on how to make an eye mechanism. And I thought, wow, this is really cool. You can make this remote control eye mechanism and make it move. And the guy had put all the information up online and again, shared the information. And I thought this would be awesome, but I don't really want to make a human eyeball mechanism
Right.
and have a human. What can I use this? What can I apply this for? And probably about a year ago, you and I had talked about making an Ewok, and I thought it would be great to bring an Ewok with us
Yep.
to troops and have him, you know, as a statue. And I thought, what a great combination to put together and have an Ewok whose eyes can blink and his
Yeah.
eyes can move. And that's what I'm currently in the process of building. His body is almost done. I'm working on his hands at the moment, and I'm working on a mechanism to make his head turn so that he could look around. So now I'll have R2-D2 at troops, and R2-D2 is fully remote control, and he could drive around. And the Ewok will be able to look around, turn his head, and blink. And I specifically made him so that his body is made out of a combination of EVA foam and couch cushioning,
Yep.
the upholstery foam,
Yeah.
so that he's huggable. So I
That's
really want
great.
just kids to be able to go and give him a hug and not worry about him falling down. I put some weights in his feet so he's very sturdy and stable, and little kids will be able to go give him a hug. He's going to be covered in, you know, fur head to toe, which is great.
Yeah, that's great. You know, like I said, you know, having guys like you are definitely crucial to our crew because, you know, you bring more than just, you know, being able to put a costume together. You know, you got it all. You got the art department, you know, you got the Photoshop skill, the computer stuff,
Thank you.
the electronics, you know, we definitely need that because, like I said, you teach guys, you know, you teach me something, I teach you something,
Yeah.
and then we teach somebody else something. So,
Right, and pass it on, pass it forward, right?
yeah. Thanks for being part of our crew, and thanks for taking the time to talk to us. But we should probably go check on them and see if they're making progress or broke something.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
All right,
Go check
man.
on them. You guys breaking back in.